stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Afternoonish. Well, nobody's here. I'm going to eat part of my sandwich. So you can look. Amber says, I'm here getting in the shower so I look fancy for my sponsorship meeting. My wife's listening to something. So, yeah, I have a 3 o'clock meeting that I go to too. And I would go to the sponsorship meeting. I feel kind of indebted to the 3 p.m. So make sure everything over there is running right before that one gets canceled too. That one's not too far off. It's not very far off from being gone itself. So I was hoping one other person showed up, but I'll take a picture and put it in Grassroots. Clever Joyce sent me this. It's a little mini dream catcher. Isn't that cool? It's really cool, huh? And you can tell she made this by hand. It's beautiful. So not sure where I'm going to. Yes, I'm live right now, Leisure. I know sometimes it's hard to tell, huh? Especially when I don't. Amber touches a meeting and it falls apart. Yeah, don't come to the 3 p.m. then. And she's just kidding. She's just kidding. But I do understand that. Because like the 3 p.m., how it works, I was doing so much and I stepped down and they went from 7 days a week to 3 days a week. I was not doing 4 days worth of work. I wasn't. But I certainly understand, it can't be one person doing everything all the time. It's unfair, man. And then to have somebody argue with you about it that does nothing in the meeting kind of ticked me off. So, Leisure says, sometimes I get notifications from YouTube from other episodes. Wow. Well, they're trying to promote my stuff or something there, huh? Give me a random number between 1 and 164.
152.
Ooh, 152. That'd be in the family afterward. That's 132. 152 will probably be in a vision for you. Yep, sure is. I was like, oh, God, it might be in 2 employers. All right, let's do some introductions. This one's not going to be more than 20, 25 minutes so we can get to our prospective meetings. We do have our meeting today at 5, Grassroots. Please feel free to join. It's just getting better and better. And it's out of my hands now, which is so fucking awesome. It's out of control. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. Name backwards is Noid. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching live or the rewatch. Got a lot of rewatchers. Lot of rewatchers. Let's get started. We're on page 152 in the big book. We have shown you how we got out from under you. You say, yes, I am willing. But am I to be consigned to a life where I shall be stupid, boring, and glum like some righteous people I see? I know I must get along without liquor, but how can I have you a sufficient substitute? Let's quit worrying about the righteous people. And how do you know that maybe they want to be stupid, boring, and glum? Some people want to be left alone. Chris, good to see you. Hey, brother. All right. Some people just want to be left alone. All right. No, you're in for the adventure of your fucking lifetime, man. Now, we're at a vision for you, and you should be free enough that you can go anywhere in this world. You can do whatever you want, man. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful world out there, man. It's all perception. But it's more than that. It's the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. We have inside jokes. You don't even need to be told the joke, and the inside joke is still there. Like, I hated writing my sobriety date in pencil. We all get that. Non-alcoholics or people that have changed things a lot like we do, like our sobriety dates, But you get it. You understand it. You walk into a meeting and you're like, man, I'm feeling really lonely, and not having to describe that loneliness, not having to describe in detail everything that is going on. Again, I was talking to my therapist on Tuesday, and she's leaving the company that she's at and starting her own private practice. I'm proud, and I told her I'm proud of her. Good for her. That was good, man. And she's like, do you want to and she's like, and you have a choice. You can stay with Overcomers, and she wouldn't get hurt about it. Or if you like, you can follow me and nothing will change for you. I'm like, oh no, I'm following you. And the reason is, and I told her the reason is because I don't want to you know me. You know me. You and I have gotten close. We know each other. We have a rhythm. And I don't want to start that over. Nope. See, I intentionally picked a therapist that was I wanted somebody that was in their 30s, in their younger 30s. Because she's going to be my therapist for the rest of my life. I don't think she understands that. I don't want another therapist. I found mine. I got tired of going to therapists that decided they were, retiring or they died, right? So, yes, there is a substitute, and it's vastly more than that. It is the fellowship in Alcoholics Anonymous. There, you will find release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Thus, we find the fellowship, and so will you. How's that to come about, you ask? Where am I to find these people? Now, the thing is this next part's not really done, but we're going to cover it. It is up to you. Okay. You're going to meet these new friends in your own community. Near you, alcoholics are dying helplessly like people in a sinking ship. Live in a large place, there are hundreds. 1 in 10 people are alcoholic, just so you know. If you live in a large place, there are hundreds. High and low, rich and poor. These are future fellows of Alcoholics Anonymous. Among them, you will make lifelong friends. You will be bound to them with new and wonderful ties where you will escape disaster together. And you will commence shoulder to shoulder your common journey. Then you will know what it means to give of yourself that others may survive and rediscover life. You will learn the full meaning of love thy neighbor as love thyself. Right. Now, I say it doesn't really happen like that anymore mostly because times have changed. So reach out to your different places in the community. Detox is a great place to call and say, hey, do you have anybody that wants to talk to somebody else there? I'd like to come down and help out. But it doesn't really feel like we can do that anymore, does it? See, the in-person 12th step has kind of disappeared. And it's something I'm trying to bring back in my community. And it's working. Yeah. Now you're probably going to find your fellowship by trying different meetings. Yeah, try a variety of meetings. If the first meeting doesn't work for you, then find the place that you belong, but don't give up on that. Okay? You got to stay accountable. You got to go to the same meetings consistently, or what happens is you don't really get to know anybody. And then your fellowship will not grow. Maybe start a meeting that's needed somewhere. That's what I've done. See, my fellowship really started to grow when I started my own meetings, when I started meetings myself. Michelle says, my morning meeting was a book study and we're reading this too. It is amazing. It is, yeah. It may seem incredible that these men and women are to become happy, respected, and useful once more. How can they rise out of such misery, bad repute, and hopelessness? The practical answer is that since these things have happened among us, they can happen to you too. Good afternoon, Heather. Good to see you. They can happen with you. Should you wish them above all else and be willing to make use of our experience, we are sure they will come to you. The age of miracles is still with us. Our own recovery proves that. Proof's in the pudding, man. The proof is in the pudding. All right? And it's right here. And be willing to make use of our experience. That's why I've been pushing the traditions. See, a lot of the experience is in the traditions. All right? What's the saying? If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Well, I don't feel like repeating it. What I'd like to be is of maximum service to God and the world around me. All right? Do I agree with all the direction I've been given? No. I don't. Does it work? Yeah, they were correct. They were right. It did work the way that it was supposed to. Right? And I found it's about need. I started an in-person meeting in Henderson, Colorado. I was there for 9 months, for a while, 2 days a week. Then I went down to 1 day a week. And nobody showed up, man. And the people that did show up never came back because there weren't enough people there for them to feel comfortable enough. And I get that. Sometimes even the grassroots, I kind of wonder, but we're sitting steady at 14 people. And usually 2 or 3 of those people just found us through DACA. Okay, but this was the first week that we did Monday through Saturday, and it's working. See, it was about the need. It was about the need. Leisure says, and this is a great question to ask yourself, are you giving your best? No. I was just with a sponsee. We were covering step 10, and you got to take a look at things. One of the things that I always need to ask myself when I'm in a situation, am I causing more confusion than harmony? And I will know. Right? Am I being a jerk, or am I bringing love, or am I bringing division? You can put it however you want, but you got to ask yourself the question, because I need to know my intentions before I move forward. Our hope is that when this chip of a book is launched on the world tide of alcoholism, defeated drinkers will seize upon it to follow its suggestions. Many, we are sure, will rise to their feet and march on. They will approach other sick ones, and fellowships of Alcoholics Anonymous may spring up in each city and hamlet, havens for those who must find a way out. All right. And it's worked. AA has more spin-offs than Happy Days. Some of you will get that. Happy Days was a show back in the 70s, 80s, very popular. So popular, let's see, we got Mork and Mindy, all right? We got Laverne and Shirley. We got Joni and Chachi. We got Al's Place. And there's a few others where there were guest stars on there, and they got a spinoff from it. Yeah. And Happy Days is one of the biggest ones where there were spinoffs. Well, AA it's the grandpappy. It's the grandpappy of the A's, right? Yeah. Here's the thing. We want you to steal it. Hey, the Fonz. I love Henry Winkler. I have always liked Henry Winkler, man. All right. And I actually watched Happy Gilmore because he was in that. Whatever Adam Sandler one he was in. So, in the chapter, Working with Others, you gathered an idea of how we approach and aid others to health. Suppose now that through you, several families have adopted this way of life. You will want to know more of how to proceed from that point. Perhaps the best way of treating you to glimpse of your future will be to describe the growth of the fellowship among us. Here's a brief account. That's gonna be a long one that I don't have time for. So, but it is about how the story is about how in 1935 that Bill had a business that failed, and he went back to the hotel room defeated, didn't know he was going to pay his hotel bill, but he seemed to have enough money to drink. Weird, right? And he had a decision to make. And the decision was to either walk into the bar where he knew what was going on and find his ease and comfort, or to go to the church directory and look for an alcoholic to work on. If he had gone the other way, if he had walked into that bar, you and I would not know each other. We wouldn't know each other because AA wouldn't be around. That would have been the end of it. And even then, AA wasn't coming around. For 6 months, he had tried to get other people sober, and not one case was working. And that's because Silkworth finally talked to him and said, "Hey, you got to stop preaching these guys. You got to quit being above them." Right? Dr. Silkworth taught Bill humility. Right? But if he would have made the decision to walk into the bar, we wouldn't be here. We probably wouldn't know each other. See, the program was divine. It was created divinely. And that means that everything had to be perfect in order for its successful consummation. It had to be perfect, which means it had to be God's will. I believe that God picked Bill, and he picked Bill and Bob and Ebby and the Oxford group and all these other places because he knew that Dion in 19 whatever was going to need it. Pretty cool stuff, man. Yeah. All right. It's going to be it for this one. I appreciate everybody being here. Remember, we got a 5:00 meeting today. Grassroots. Chris, I will send you the link if you can try and make it, man. All you got to do is hit the link. So I'll text it to your brother. See if you can try and make it with us. So, but thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. And I'll send it to you about a half hour before the meeting starts, so about 4:30. But I will send that to you today. All right, brother? All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.